Alright guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video. So, I just had to do a video covering Fusion Zamasu, man. I had to talk about this because this is not a thing where like one person is like, oh my god, Fusion Zamasu is so bad. Or two people are like, oh my god, Fusion Zamasu is so bad. This is like, it is a very common thing. Like, people are in very much agreement that Fusion Zamasu is not the hardest fight in the game. Like everyone says he is, but that's not what the problem is. People say he's the hardest fight in the game, but in a dreadfully toxic way, right? Like a very unfun manner. Fusion Zamasu is the hardest fight in the game. Now, I don't wholly disagree with that. I do think Fusion Zamasu is toxic. This right here, this is just 500k damage he just does instantly. In my experience fighting this fight, Zamasu does the AoE in slot 1. I mean, legitimately, it has to be 95% of the time. I mean, I would invite someone, please, go, pull up all the data from all the videos or something like that. Give me the percentage of how often Zamasu AoEs in slot 1. Because it's got to be 95% plus. It has to be 90% at least. It has to be. Like, if this guy does not AoE in slot 1, I fall out of my seat. It's, oh my god, a miracle. We could compare this to the other fight right now, I think, is very difficult. I think the second hardest fight, but certainly it's not Fusion Zamasu level, is Omega. Omega, in the final phase, he does 3 AoEs. And it seems fairly common that, sometimes he doesn't AoE right away at all. But, like, Fusion Zamasu, like, they have that boy programmed to just fire that bitch off instantly. And then let's make no bones about the fact that this is a pretty damaging super attack turn 1, but what makes this truly scary is this. Because what this means is he is firing it off constantly. He can super attack on back-to-back attacks. He could super attack the last attack of a turn and then super attack the first attack of a turn. Typically, if he or one of these zero cooldown bosses decides to do that, that's probably a loss unless you dodge or you're lucky or you foresaw it coming with Scouter or something like that. It's just very tough. Now, the area where I push back, again, I agree that he's the hardest fight in the game, for sure. I agree that he's toxic, for sure. But people are losing their minds as though, oh my god, Dokkan are idiots. What were they thinking? Zamasu is not even the most toxic fight in the red zone meta, dude. No way. If we compare it to Broly is infinitely more toxic than Fusion Zamasu. I don't think it's comparable at all. There are, right, people will go like, oh my god, like, you gotta respect everyone's opinion and stuff like that. And it's like, sure. I mean, if we're talking, my favorite color is blue, and you go, oh, my favorite color is red. Okay, I mean, that's very subjective, right? Oh, I love tacos. And you say, well, I love hamburgers. Again, like, it's subjective. Oh, I love pineapple on pizza. Oh, I hate pineapple on pizza. I mean, no one is wrong. It's just preference stuff. Here, though, like, we can actually point to concrete numbers and facts about how these bosses are designed and the conditions of the game at the time, right? So this guy came out in February of 2022. I have my original video right here. February 2022. This is the squad I bring up against the original Broly, right? This is what we're rocking right here. And I also have my video. This is my very first video against Fusion Zamasu when he came out in September. This is the squad that we're rolling in, right? This is me going in. I'm pretty sure I didn't know what he was doing there. And like, this is what we're rocking right there with this, right? If you compare the conditions of the game at the time, it's not even close, dude. I mean, I'll try and word this in a way. I did not see a single no item run of Broly until I did mine. I didn't see one. I didn't see one. This is the first one I'm aware of. I'm not saying it's impossible that someone did it before me. I remember there was talk of someone getting it done with LR Evolution Blue Vegeta's Revive to get past the AoE. But like this no item against Broly, I mean, people weren't putting these up for weeks. No one was doing this because we just did not have the characters to compete with the toxicity of Broly. Now, you guys know how I get down. I love building my characters with dodge. Now, pre-Broly and pre-Red Zone, I wasn't really doing that as much. LR Super Janemba, I had a full dodge build on, and I had a full dodge build on Physical Super Saiyan 3 Goku, but like I think that's it. Like if you go back and look at my builds, I mean, I always show them on video, so you could always fact check what I'm saying if you'd like. But most of those characters, right, those strong characters we would have been using, like I'm not running dodge build on these characters. I don't think, not a single character here, like I wasn't doing that on none of these characters, right? So it's like this fight cancels dodge instantaneously. That makes this more, I mean, I don't want to use the word toxic. I don't even want to use the word harder, but this takes away strategies that you can use against Broly, right? I think one reason I might not have as many difficulties in this fight as other people, I don't even want to say that, but the reason I don't hate it as much as other people is this bastard throws this out, and half of the time, my characters are dodging all over the place, man. I mean, people could cry about dodge and bitch about it to the ends of the earth, but, I mean, that shit works, man. I'm sorry, right? So, like, Zamasu's throwing those out, and a lot of times, I'm bobbing and weaving, right? Like, not always, like, I die a lot, but there's a lot of dodges that happen. Against Broly, you couldn't do it. But this, what made this guy King Tut is this. This shit, I mean, so Zamasu does 500k, but it's turn 1. This guy, he 840. There was like nothing. You had nothing to do about this. You could not eat. You couldn't eat it. You couldn't eat it. You couldn't. If he supers, you lost. If you weren't using items, that's it. Like it's pretty much just that simple. Like I would have to double. So this is a no item run, right? Let's get over to here. So do we kill him before he does anything? I'm curious. I mean, it's been a while. I guess maybe I should have reviewed the tape beforehand. Okay, so we have double gods here. But, like, there's no way. Dude, we can't live this turn. He must not super attack. Because, again, you can't dodge. So, like, I guess we go through here, and it's just pray. Just pray that this boy does not super attack. Let me see. Okay, there's got Goku attacking, the gods are attacking, and he didn't super. Yeah. And then we get to this turn, and then we wipe him out with Super Saiyan 4 Goku's active. That's how I did it. That's the way I got through this. By literally just pure RNG that he doesn't super. Because you couldn't live this guy super. Like, that's why, like, I'm kind of confused why, like, it's not one person saying, like, oh, yeah, Fusion Zamasu is more toxic and worse than Broly. I'm seeing, this is, like, a common thing. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, what were you supposed to do against this? There was nothing. You had to use items. Like, you had to double Whis to get through STR Broly, right? You double Whis, and then you're going up against this demon right here, who, again, if you make it past Int Zamasu, I'm not saying physical Zamasu's a bitch. That's not what I'm about to say. Like, he's not a pussy, he's not a bitch, he's not weak. Like, he does a lot of damage. He hits very hard. But look at this. He attacks 8 times per turn, and then his cooldown is 8. If this guy supers, there's a very good chance the next turn he will not super. There's a reasonable chance because of his cooldown. And then, oh, let's just take a look at Broly with his double super with a 5 cooldown. Double super with a 5 cooldown. Like, it's just not comparable, man. It's not. You use your Whis items or Ghost Usher or whatever to try and get through AoE Broly, and then you still had to go through this guy potentially without items. Right? This is a joke. Dude, you double Whis, and this guy he goes down like a pussy. He doesn't do shit. You double Whis, he is fish. He's food, man. Like, what is he gonna do? Yeah, he does a lot of damage. Just dodge. Oh, same with Broly, right? Just dodge. No. I'm sorry. I just, the problem this year is not that they made, oh my god, Fusion Zamasu, the most devastating, unfair boss ever. That is not it. I went through and I made a thread. I've been saying this all year, that I really believe that the actual problem is that character strength this year. I think has been very weak. Now, I picked 2021. I could do this with other years as well. I actually had fun. What the problem was finding the art. I just decided to settle on the SSR arts because it was easy to just grab for me off the wiki. That's why I did that, right? And not like the LR arts and UR arts and stuff like that. But I could do this with other years, but the reason I chose 2021 versus 2023 is that 2021 did have a lot of difficult content in a variety of ways. We had the God event, we had 2 legendary events, the GT event as well as the legendary Vegeta event, and then we also had Extreme Super Battle Road, which about halfway through the year, Pure Saiyan Extreme Super Battle Road was commonly accepted as the hardest fight. That's why UI Goku and Super Vegeta were just so very impactful because they were so important for the Pure Saiyan Extreme Super Battle Road stage. Now, all year, I've been complaining about how shitty a lot of these characters are this year. And this, I think, is where we can really, like, dive into this. So, again, I tried to be as fair as possible, right? And it's like, I'm trying to grade these characters kind of like how good they were when they came out, but also, again, keeping an eye towards, like, how long they last. Like, I think that's most relevant as we go through here with Tech Gogeta, a character who was crushed on release, even by me. But, I mean, as time would have it, he was even a very, very solid option in the Red Zone stages, which were on the horizon. Now, again, I could have done 2022, but 2022 really is kind of like almost the same meta that we're in, like kind of this like, you know, like Red Zone difficulty type meta. And keep in mind that typically the way they do things too is that they'll release a very tough stage and then they will gradually release characters who can maybe compete before they begin dropping characters who could crush it, right? We look at 2022, a lot of those characters, you know, like the ROF Blues are not really that crazy. You know, obviously Raditz, Goku and Piccolo, a lot of them aren't really like super like Nutty Buddy or anything like that, right? But then, you know, you get to the second half of the year, like Vegeta and Trunks and the Gammas and stuff like that, like they just start to destroy. Now, I mean, we're going to get to that point with Fusion Zamasu, you know, coming up soon, or anniversary. The anniversary characters, I would be shell-shocked if they don't make this guy food. Like, his AoEs, I imagine, will do nothing. I don't think so. I don't think his AoEs are doing a damn thing, potentially, to the 9th anniversary LRs. I think that they will be designed to crush this guy, as well as perform very well in whatever difficult content is coming out. So, I'm going to do this quick. I made this thread, I could even turn this thread into its own video, which I may or may not do, but let's just quickly go in here. Now, I really like the 6th anniversary LRs, but I feel like these guys are just holding up so well. And again, by the way, remember, we're doing a 1-3-5 point system here. Slight edge, moderate edge, and landslide is what I did. And I got 2021 winning huge, because it's once we got to the second half of the year, we'll see. Let's go. So, again, I would try to be as fair as possible. I felt like these guys' 8th anniversary LRs slightly better. Same thing right here. Felt like the 8th anniversary LRs were slightly better than those 6th anniversary Part 2 LRs. These guys were definitely restricted to one team, whereas, I mean, you know, we could use Carnival Goku and Carnival Gohan in a variety of setups. I thought that they were pretty good. You know, what have I been saying all year, guys? The major celebration characters have been W's this year. And then once you get out of that, it's just a lot of bullshit, man. Trunks and Goten, they're infinitely better. We don't even need to waste time talking about it. I saw some people, I waited a second just to see if there was any controversial ones in here. I just saw some people talking about this. I gave God Goku a 3-point edge right here. Broly was good. Again, there was two legendary events came out that year. Broly, remember, the God event, by the way, was what, 12 gods? Like, there was a lot of different stages, so most characters could be effective in one of the God event stages. Again, we had 2 legendary events, and Broly was a legitimate option in Red Zone, some Red Zone stages that came the following year. God Goku, I think, is incredible, tremendous, but I mean, to say it's only a moderate, like, to say that this is wrong, I think it's crazy. Like, you know, disrespecting Broly is ridiculous to me. Like, he was good. He was not bad. Videl is, listen to what I'm going to say here. Videl is the golden standard for like a non-hype Saiyan card coming out, like a Raditz, a Pan, a Captain Ginyu, Videl. Videl is the gold standard. Like she's the one you point to. Any Videl downplay, beside like if you're talking about Videl now, sure. But like if people start talking about Videl in 2021, if they say shit like she was always mid or she never had partners, stuff like that, like you just ignore it because it's just wrong. Videl was God when she came out. Boo, I'm not that. I don't. I will talk forever. The build-up damage reduction, losing it, like, characters, miss me with that. Super Boo is a character I have some issues with, but I feel like he's rather effective, so we can put him there. This is tough. This is really tough. Because these guys were kings. Like, this is again, very slight edge to Goku and Piccolo Jr. I think that this one could go either way. If someone was adamant that they like the 2021 characters better, I can't, like these guys were great. They both, incredible. This is, Super 17 is one of the biggest jokes ever. We don't even need to waste time talking about that. Kid Gohan obliterates Turles, don't need to waste time there. Don't need to waste time here. Goku and Piccolo, again, that we had not one, but two legendary events in 2021. Goku and Piccolo landslide. This is a controversial, yeah, you could see. This is a controversial one. Tech Gogeta is a character I myself was very hard on. People will say that SCR Super Vegeta was better on release. And at the time, like, I would agree with that. Like, I felt like the day he came out, like, SCR Vegeta, I liked him better. But as time went on, the Gogeta character kind of held true. He could get blasted in the red zone stages, but like I was using him in a lot of those red zone fights, man. And Gogeta was able to perform well. Gogeta in this Broly fight was clutch. He was so crucial. LR Tech Gogeta in this fight, man. He's so crucial. That scouter and the heal and shit, like it became like a necessity against AGL Broly. I'm sorry. I like this guy. I'm probably higher on him than most, actually, but I mean, they dropped him to be, he's really good for the Omega fight, but I mean, dude, the Dismal Future Red Zone stages, I mean, I got a news flash for you kids. The upcoming difficult events, they're probably not going to be weaker bosses turn one than Zamasu, sure, but like some of these other Dismal Future Red Zone fights, like these bosses, upcoming difficult content, they're almost assuredly going to be doing at least this much damage, which can eviscerate this guy. Like, I'm sorry, I had to give Gogeta an edge. I can't. I don't know, man. I can't. Everyone in the world could disagree with this, but I can't do anything besides give Gogeta the edge. Maybe if you want to go a slight edge, but I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it like one difference does not change even the point total I came to at the end. Janemba, it's not even close. People hated on Janemba so much. Janemba was good until recently, right? Like, Janemba's crazy. Super Vegeta, absolutely. Again, Pure Saiyan Extreme Super Battle Road was kind of like the toughest stage. Obviously, there's God event stages he could perform in. I mean, I don't really like Vegeta maybe so much in some of the legendary events, potentially, like against like the Evolution Blue Vegeta or something like that, I guess. I don't know, but I mean, I don't like the Trunks. 2021 worldwide, these characters, I would have said UI Goku #1 at the time. I do think you had a very good and fair argument to put Frieza as the best unit in the game. I mean, these guys are strong. The Blue Vegito and Fusion Zamasu, they're not competing for best unit in the game. These guys were. It's just that simple. Part 2, it's not even close. Future Gohan is competing for best unit in the game. Trunks, I like. Trunks is weird because he got mega downplay right away. And then I feel like some people settled off on him. But lately I've been seeing people over-exaggerate how good he is, too. I like Trunks. I think Trunks is pretty good. I like that he doesn't have restrictions. He kind of just is what he is. But this guy's not one of, like, the 5 best units in the game or something like that. Hell no. All right, so we have that. Oh, wait, okay, we're still going. I guess the thread is just so long. All right, Kale and Khalifa, they're just way better. Again, they were very effective even into red zone stages, right? I mean, we literally stood right there, man. Like, what? They were, Tech Kefla, I think I was also the first one to get double Raditz done against Broly, and, Tech Kefla had a big impact on that, even with, like, a Raditz team, right? So, again, we go with Kefla there. Hidden God Goku, I mean, that's not even close. Ribrian, they did not make good enough. Gohan and Piccolo, a character I have my issues with, but, like, they can do stuff. They have special, like, stuff. Like, the revive, the guaranteed dodge, the guaranteed crit, the support, right? Like, Trunks was kind of just, like, a powerful unit that got instantly power crept with Red Zone. Gohan and Piccolo, I mean, Gohan and Piccolo, to be very fair to them, they're a character that could still be usable in a year with their abilities, right? So maybe I should pull back on them a little bit, because it's like that revive is the type of thing that could age well, potentially, right? Like, Metal Cooler, like, just in terms of strength, is power crept badly, but, like, you could still rock him with that revive. It'll probably be a similar thing with Gohan and Piccolo. This one, like, God Trunks is good, but Vegito is like, you know, like, I don't need to continue talking, right? Like, this is in no way, this is the only landslide on here. Well, I mean, I guess I would also say this part one, like these two are good, but this is still a landslide. It's the same thing here. God Trunks is good, but Vegito, dude, it's just different. And then right here, I like Android 21, but 17 and 18, I mean, they're just, it's crazy. It's crazy. So, there we go. There's the thing. I think that a huge, major problem, why does Fusion Zamasu feel so nasty? It's not because he's the most toxic fight ever, get him past Broly first, which he can't. Broly is way more toxic. But just, like, overall, this year, the characters have been weak. The characters have been weaker, man. It's just that simple. Like, I don't know, Dokkan, give us better characters, man. I felt like I was being very generous, too. Like, I easily could have said 6th Anniversary Part 2 was better. 6th Anniversary Part 1 was better. I feel like I could have said Super Gogeta was a landslide over Super Saiyan 4 Goku as well. I think I could have even gone that far. So, this would be the culprit, I think, for sure. I might look into doing this exact idea for some other years. I think that it actually could be very fun. But let me know what you guys think. Again, I do agree. The final point of the video is that, yes, Fusion Zamasu is very toxic, very tough, but people are going way too far. They're losing their marbles over this fight when it's not that big of a deal, right? Like, Zamasu is not the end-all, be-all. The other thing is that there are several other competitive fights, too. Like, he's not the only fight that matters. You know, you could make a team, beat this guy in one try, and then go fight Red Zone Goku Black and get smoked 3 times in a row. Like, there's other fights that are comparable in terms of difficulty. It's not like he's by himself. I think maybe if he was a fight that was just completely by himself and nothing else could compare at all, maybe it'd be potentially a little bit different. Still not toxic like Broly, though. I don't... This is one of those things where Fusion Zamasu came out on Global and JP at the same time, but that's not what happened with Broly, man. Global players had a bunch of way good options that we did not have on JP the day Broly came out. Stuff like Majin Vegeta and the Ginyu Force and the Goku and Gohan and AGL Cell. Like, there was a bunch of characters that came out that were much better in these stages than we had on JP, man. At this day right here, this shit was crazy. It was tough. I mean, again, I didn't get a no item clear on Broly for weeks, dude. I did not no item. Well, I did no item Fusion Zamasu. It was the very next video, a couple hours later. But, like, there was no item clears of Fusion Zamasu with a variety of teams. Dude, there was just a ton of teams. People, superhero, movie heroes, like, they had done all types of teams to take down Fusion Zamasu. That was not the case with Broly, man. You couldn't. You could not. I don't understand how it's even an argument. I don't. But let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch y'all next time.